Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I checked out Maximum Overdrive. And this 1986 film was directed by Stephen King and stars Emilio Estevez, Laura Harrington, and John Short, among others of course. The story of this movie is that the Earth passes through the tail of a comet, and that tail of the comet makes all of the machines revolt. So now all of the machines on Earth are coming to life in 1986. So, of course, no computers or anything like that, but they have things like chainsaws and lawnmowers and tractor trailers and then big semi-trucks. That's, I think, the main kind of machine that gains this consciousness and will to kill humans. And so our story primarily focuses on this one diner with a bunch of people kind of trapped inside. And there's these gang of semi-trucks just going around and around the diner, just waiting for people to come out so that they can, run them over. What will happen? Will they be able to stop these trucks from, killing the whole town? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. All right, so let's discuss this movie. Well, with this one, I gotta tell you, I only pressed play because I did hear it was kind of bad. It is directed by Stephen King, and this is his only directing credit. And apparently the rumor is that he's so coked up at the time that he can't remember making this movie. I think he's also apologized to Emilio Estevez for making it as well. And so I just wanted to see what it was and to see what was going to happen in it. And overall, I did find it to be somewhat interesting. The trucks were fun. They have this one with a goblin face on it, and that one's kind of, I guess, the gang leader of all the trucks. So that one's fun. They have a few other things as well that's fun. They have Emilio Estevez, and his character certainly is very kind of relatable and very kind of charming. And you just want to see him succeed. He's just like fry cook, but he kind of shows his bravery and his skill and his empathy throughout the whole thing. And you just want to see him survive. So there is a few things that do make it worth watching, that do make it interesting enough to go along with it. Other than that, I would say the pacing is really good. With Stephen King being coked up on this one, it's a very kind of fast pace. Everything is happening all the time, and every segment goes by really fast, and there's explosions sometimes, and then they have an RPG and they're just exploding things all over the place. And so yeah, it's fast enough that you're never bored throughout the whole thing, even though nothing it seems that interesting. You at least are going somewhere at a fast pace. So the directing, yeah, sure, it certainly works. I would say the shooting is good as well. So all of that stuff works certainly in its favor. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this one. Well, ultimately, it's pretty dumb. These machines just start coming alive and attacking people for absolutely no reason. Well, that's not true. You do get a reason, and that's another thing. I'll talk about it in a moment. And the things that do come alive seems completely random. They have a electric knife that comes alive and jumps up and attacks someone's neck. They have a lawnmower that's going around kind of getting people's toes. Then of course all the big semi trucks are there. But oddly enough, none of the cars come alive. They're machines just as much as the trucks are, but they're not alive. Why are the cars our friends? And even then, not really our friends. They're just inanimate objects at that point, right? And so it just seems like the things that do come alive are just there for the story, because there's so many different machines, especially in the world of 1986, where machines are, not the computer animated things that we see around us today. And so it just seems like whatever is needed for the story happens, and that kind of just takes away from the overall experience, I would think. It kind of seems like that's an insult to the audience, to tell you the truth. Don't think about it, just trust us that the cars are not, right? It's just so dumb that way. So ultimately, it's pretty dumb. Also, with this movie, there is a solution to all their problems, and the way it's given to you is that it's given to you in the last 30 seconds of the movie, and it's done in just a text crawl that comes across the screen, and it happens off screen because of that. And you're just as an audience member kind of insulted by that. It seems like a fun idea when you read it in the end, but then show me that, if that's what you were going for, show that on screen. Don't just tell it in a little text crawl at the end. It would have been done differently, of course. It would have been a completely different movie if they had just focused on that, but there's other ways of doing it, I would say. have a TV going, even though I know TVs are machines in 1986, so it doesn't really make sense, but anything just works for the story. And have like news reports on it, being like, this is over there, or we're seeing this, or this is what's being reported, and have it told to us through that method. As it stands, just like a 30-second text crawl at the end, kind of insulting when it comes down to it. So it just kind of adds to the dumbness and the stupidness of the whole thing. So yeah, that is certainly kind of what I think about this one. As for a recommendation, well, if you are a B-movie lover, you can turn this one on and enjoy it. It's fast-paced enough and, somewhat interesting that will allow you to get to the end. Of course, it's going to be silly and whatnot, but, it is one of these ones that you do hear about, right? If you are a Stephen King fan and you just want to see something Stephen King, sure, take a chance with this one. I don't know if it's going to be the best chance you've ever taken, but, it's out there for you. As for rating, I'll give it the okay score of 4. Ultimately, as a B-movie lover, it really just is okay. It's fast-paced enough that you can get to the end. So ultimately, yeah, just okay. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. Almost forgot that part. And yeah, I'll see you next time, everyone. Peace out.